Hello everybody and welcome back to Dishonored. You'll probably notice at the end of the last part, I said, this isn't over yet, but the game crashed to the Xbox home screen as soon as I tried to start this. So let's see if it'll work. It crashed and then it was over. There we go. So welcome to the Bring More Witches. That last episode's a bit short. I was just gonna continue, but you know what? Let's go ahead and get rid of all these. Start it off fresh here. Alright, so here we are. The Bring More Witches. Soundtrack's good. New game. A save of the Knife of Dunwall has been found. You can use progression to Bring More Witches to retrieve your equipment and powers. Which progression do you want to use? You can start a new game. You can do high chaos or you can do low chaos. We did low chaos. We were in low chaos, so that's where we're going to start. Yes. We're of course going to play on novice because I'm a scrub. And we're at Dowd's hideout. So we're going to go ahead and start. Hopefully the game won't crash. Please don't crash. I need this.
He knew. The black-eyed bastard knew that when my blade stilled the Empress's heart and delivered her daughter to the Lord Regent's men, everything would fall to pieces. He watched me do it anyway. And now the world's gone mad. Plague grinds the city down. Corruption rots. A mad killer roams the streets by night, seeking revenge. The overseers have stormed my hideout in the flooded district. And I'm in a strange duel with a mad witch named Delilah for the fate of the Empire. I'd say I was being punished, but I know that the world doesn't punish wicked people. We make our choices and take what comes. And the rest is void. I can't say I wasn't warned. The men are recovering well from the attack, but they don't understand the danger they're in. My mother warned me never to make an enemy of a witch.
Oh boy, it's Corvo.
Corvo. Here to settle our debt. You understand, I won't make this easy for you.
So the essence is to defeat him. I could figure out how to block. There we go. Ow. But it was all just a dream.
What is it?
Thomas has returned with the information you requested. He's waiting for you below.
Alright, so, Corrupted Charm. Now, this was one of the things that you'll find is not just in the Bring More Witches, but also in... it's also in... Which one was it? something bolts or whatever. Where is it? Yes. So you'll find that in not only in this, but in Dishonored 2, there are these things called corrupted charms. Now, corrupted charms allow you to have a benefit, but also a penalty. So the benefit is bolt shots from your wrist bow do more damage, but the penalty is that bolts almost always break on contact when shot at enemies. So there is like there's a minus, there's a pro and a con to these. We're gonna go ahead and put in the 6 that we have that we want. Regenerate mana faster. Potions. Let's see. Max health increase. Having your weapons out doesn't slow you. Slightly faster when carrying corpses. Choking is faster. And then let's see. Potions give you moderately more mana. Let's just do that one for now. Powers, as you can see, we also have a new one called Pull. Pull inanimate objects towards you from a distance. Consumable items are used or stored immediately. And this level 2 is Pull living things and bodies towards you from a distance. When enemies are pulled close enough, they are suspended in air. Corpses and unconscious bodies are automatically carried. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get that when we have the chance. A note from Billy. Dowd, no need to waste your breath with apologies or excuses. You taught me that. All I can say is that as soon as I left Dunwall, my head felt clear, maybe for the first time. You told me once that people like us burn hot, then burn up. We don't get a chance to start over. No long days in the sun. But I know you, Dowd. Despite all the blood on your hands, you've been stashing coin. No one does that if they're not holding on to something. You've got some kind of plan, some hope for a new life. Maybe you knew, maybe you didn't. But that's what you gave me when you let me walk away. The one thing you said that wasn't possible, and I will never forget that. When the time comes, and it will, I hope you're watching close so that you get that chance too. I left a book for you. The world is big, bigger than I knew. There are lots of places where an old man like you could disappear. Billy. Ports of Call. So basically, this is a bunch of ports that Billy is kind of suggesting that we could go to. Potterstead Gristle. A small town, but the locals are charming and the ale is unmatched. Be certain to visit during the month of Winds for their pennant festival. Dunwall, Gristle. Notes on the capital city could fill a dozen such volumes. All delights exist in Dunwall if you've got the coin, and all miseries if you're broke. Unless you're well connected through someone in Dunwall Tower, one of the key families, the City Watch or River Patrol, make sure your permits are in order. Otherwise, you're likely to have your cargo seized by the port authorities for any reason they care to concoct. Call Kenny Morley. While the harbor master here is particular about the kinds of goods you're carrying, the rest of the town's more lax. Be sure to visit the inn on the rock for the best mutton stew in all the Isles. Yarrow Tivia. The cold here will snatch the breath from your lungs, but it's met in equal strength by the civility of its well-mannered citizens. The cozy taverns are kept warm by their famously crafted iron stoves, though the northern food takes some adjustment. Bejeweled aristocrats laugh and drink side by side with weathered, leathery-skinned farmers, clapping one another on the back until the dim hours. It is hard to make a friend here, or to truly understand the worldview of the native-born, but once you do, you'll have a friend for life. Calero Serkonos. This city is crowded in the warmer months, and for a good reason. You'll find yourself shoulder to shoulder with scantily clad locals and foreigners on a holiday, pale skin burned pink by the sun, which somehow seem larger and brighter in Serkonos. The food in Calero is a shining example of Serkonian cuisine, and there's always music, always dancing. Hand-rolled on the steps of tobacco shops, the cigars are of course fresher than the ones you've had shipped to the other parts of the Empire. Karnaca Zirkonos. Now, for those of you who've already played through Dishonored, you know that Karnaca is actually the setting of Dishonored 2, which we will be in. So Karnaca, Serkonos, the jewel of the south, the edge of the world, the city is bustling with industry after a wave of settlers from Morley and an influx of wealthy trading companies from Dunwall. Everywhere you go in Karnaca, there are new ideas, hybrid forms of music, groundbreaking theories of natural philosophy, and even extravagant delicacies made by mixing ingredients from all the known cultures. The locals work tirelessly for their coin, welcoming the elite from across the Isles. Excuse me, I didn't ask you to readjust my shit. That goes up. That goes down. That goes over there. And yes, the choke dust stays there. Regency and emergency powers. We've read that one in Cobbled Bits of Bone. They say my mother was a witch, but the truth, as is so often the case, depends on perspective and your place in the world. She relied on poisons made from exotic herbs and the blowfish that live in the reef waters near Pandysia. Her power originated in hallucinogenics, delivered through guile or by force to those who crossed her. There was an unusual intensity in her gaze for certain, but it came from within, not from the outsider. It's what happens to anyone pushed to the absolute edge of sanity and survival, who stays there for years and returns to walk among the sheep in the so-called civilized society. My mother was crafty, but if it was anything more than powders, hidden knives, and guile, I never saw it. Like they tell children, some of those truly touched by the black-eyed bastard can move through the space between rooftops like a sparrow. Others command armies of rats or poisonous flies as easy as they wriggle their fingers and toes. The overseers are right to fear us, to warn the common folk to stay near the homes at night and keep their families close. But there are other ways his influence manifests itself. Those who serve me share in some of what I can do, and I suspect it's the same for Delilah Copperspoon's coven. Then there are those who can craft runes and charms. The old woman across town, they call her Granny Rags. She carves and polishes the bones of whales, stringing them together and opening them to the void until they moan like the fever sick on a cold night. I found a few of her talismans, and with each one I touched, a tiny piece of me departed and settled in with her. What does she gain? A longer life? Some other kind of power I don't understand? The making of such things is beyond me. I've known 4 people in my time who carried the mark of the outsider, but I've known dozens more who wanted it, who stood at night in stagnant ponds or begged with the dust blowing through graveyards. People who gutted farm animals or burned the flesh of men, thinking it would call forth the void. I met a dying man once who said he had collected runes and charms for years. He crushed them all into a powder, made a paste, and ate them, thinking he could gain whatever magic was in those things. His death was long and painful. I also knew a woman from Karnaka who would trade for charms and other bits of whalebone. She cracked them apart and fused them back together, then sold them. I bought one of these corrupted charms that she swore would cause sharp metal to break on my skin, and it worked. But each time it did, one of my teeth turned black and fell out. After the 3rd time, I gave it to one of my men. Now when he smiles, it's all bleeding gums. And I wonder what parts inside him are turning black. Sometimes I ask myself, without these gifts, would I be a man of fear? Would I be called the Knife of Dunwall, with my name whispered through the markets and the alleyways, the high towers and drawing rooms? I like to think so, but it really doesn't matter. As long as I bear this mark, I'll use whatever craft I have to force my will on the world. The harder trick is undoing what I've done. So that's another little bit from Dowd, the Reclamation of Dunwall. This was read in the last one as well, actually. Alright, so we also have another rune here. Grab my equipment. A wrist bow, of course. A rune. And my sword. Alright, so, we have 3 runes. We're going to acquire Pole. We're not going to talk to Thomas yet. We're going to open this. We're going to grab these ingots worth $100 a piece. The Galvani Weave, Galvani Resin. Read that book in a sec. Whalers. I just want to grab the rest of everything kind of laying around here. Get that money.
They say he let Rothwild live. Taking prisoners is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about. You don't have to remind me. It's Billy's doing that the overseers found us. That wasn't down. Down should have shouted down. Ever vigilant, I see. Are we leaving soon to Bridgeport?
Interesting time, gentlemen.
Knife of Dunwall, Survivor's Tale. From a street pamphlet containing a sensationalized sighting of Dowd. Gentle reader, be assured that your coin is well spent today. What you read here may one day preserve your life and your sanity. No one has seen the Knife of Dunwall and lived to tell of it until now. The sun was setting, a bloody stain against the sky, silhouetting the noble contours of Rothwild's slaughterhouse. The stench of blood, the flesh of men and whales, soured the air. Dowd slithered from the sewers, his body slick with gore and crawling with vermin that no mortal man could have tolerated. His shadow stretched out before him on the ground, and it revealed his true nature, a horned thing warped by heresy, a shape too terrible to put into words, my gentle readers, a sorcerer from the void, without question. I could hear the moans of the dying workers he left in his wake, but he did not even pause to acknowledge their plight, for his heart is colder than Tyvian ice. Instead, he let out a guttural howl of victory, the shock of which snuffed out the life of those poor dying workers, and then he bounded away, moving from roof to roof, back towards the streets. And this was where I thought this chapter would end until I heard the music. The grinding metal music of the overseers echoed from the nearby alleyways, and I knew there would soon be a fight. With only my sense of duty to the fallen citizens of Dunwall to keep my fear from overtaking me, I inched closer to the mouth of the alley for a better vantage. A brave contingent of overseers had captured one of Dowd's lieutenants lurking in the alley. He or she, for I could not tell beneath the thick leather of the industrial whaler suit, was prone and tied with sturdy ropes, surrounded overseers. But their fixation was ultimately their undoing. Dowd fell from above, moving through the air as easily as a falcon. I swear it upon my spirit. Without sound he glided down among them, and the music maker was the first to die as Dowd tore the man's head from his shoulders. The wretched song faded in a discordant wail. Then I watched as the most notorious assassin of our time became a flurry of leather, metal, and blood, deflecting bullets and sword blades with ease. The last overseer, no doubt consumed with terror, seeing his brothers fall so easily, sank to his knees and begged for mercy. Dowd spoke a single word that made my entrails squirm in my belly upon hearing it. The overseer shrieked like a madman till his mask split in two, as though struck by some hammer and chisel, and a stream of blood gushed forth from the crack, bathing Dowd's boots. I closed my eyes at that point, too overwhelmed to witness any further atrocity. I could only hope that if that foul heretic discovered me next, my life would end swiftly. But when I opened my eyes, Dowd was nowhere to be seen. That was the last I ever saw of the Knife of Dunwall. So heed my warning, gentle reader. Should you or anyone you love witness some misshapen shadow fall across your path, or should you hear the slightest rumor of dark words whispered from the rooftops, then flee. Flee with all haste. Yeah, we all know that was bullshit.
Witches abroad in the city, traitors in the rank.
Alright, so now let's go ahead and read the Whalers. One gentleman of advanced age swore that his brother had been taken by the Whalers, a notorious gang associated with the man called Dowd. According to Peter Mansfield, his brother Radolf was proud of working with the Royal Spy Master's Responsible Citizens Group, feeling no shame in reporting on what he perceived as shady dealings by his rivals at the fish markets. But this might have been the source of his trouble. On the 6th evening of the month of Hearths, Radolf came storming into Peter's home, white-faced and panic-stricken, claiming to have been chased by a group of ruffians wearing the leather suits and vapor masks used by the men working in the whale oil factories. Peter gave him supper and drink, sending him on his way later that night, after which Radolf was never seen again. I have no recollection of this man. The Isle of Zirconos. Zirconos, the jewel of the south, is best known for its warm winds, spiced food, and endless beaches. While the city of Calero sees the heaviest flow of travelers from across the isles, Karnaca, on the southernmost edge of the known world, is preferred among the elite of the empire. It is said that a month spent resting beneath the sun on the beaches of Zirconos, or within one of the rural villages, can cure most maladies. Travelers bring back recipes and styles from the south, and the dances that all Zirconians learned in their youth are favored in Bristol for their sensuality, copied by the fashionable aristocracy in the capital city of Dunwall. The only persistent trouble in Zirconos originates along the string of tiny islands stretching away from the mainland to the east. For generations, pirates have hidden among the archipelago, raiding traders, passing between isles, and more recently attacking whaling ships, returning with rich stores of oil. The Metaphysica Mysterium. Excerpt from a longer banned work. It is said that we should not sully our hands when combating the forces of the void. My studies have been deemed heretical by my brothers, but the rewards have been invaluable. I have harnessed the same energies employed by the outsider and his accursed followers while avoiding their corruption. I will prescribe a twofold method in this text. Indirection. As the unwholesome powers of the outsider use living flesh as a conduit, we can avoid being tainted by using the flesh of others instead. Containment. By using channels and barriers, we can focus these void energies in a raw state, shielding them from the perverse perspectives of the outsider. Finally, Thomas's journal. Our troubles began with a name, Delilah, a mystery given to Dowd by the face he sees in his dreams and whose voice he hears when kneeling at the shrines hidden at the lost parts of the city. None of us have ever heard this voice, but we know its power. It spoke to our master, telling him of his coming doom and saying that solving this riddle was the only way to escape. We knew nothing of Delilah, except that we found a whaling ship by that name. A tenuous connection, but where the outsider's word is concerned, there are no coincidences. We discovered the ship was named after a woman who once walked the halls of Dunwall Tower with Jessamine Caldwin. Later she became a painter, an apprentice of Sokolov himself, until she snared an aristocratic patron named Arnold Timsh. We met with Timsh's niece, who offered us information on Delilah in exchange for eliminating her uncle. Removing aristocrats was our specialty, so our master agreed. With barrister Arnold Timsh gone, his niece divulged everything she knew. Delilah was much more than a painter, and she was hiding in the old Brigmore Manor outside the city. But by then we were too late. Delilah anticipated our threat. For some time she had been working her corruptive influence on the best of us, the assassin Billy Lurk. Delilah turned Lurk against us, and together they sold us out to the overseers. When we returned to our hideout in the Flood District, we were swarmed by gold masks and hounds. There was no hounds at all. But Dowd is quick and wise in our trade. Why has everybody got to exaggerate? And wise in our trade. In the end, he kept us alive, though there were losses. Now our resources are strained. Some of the men are grumbling. I see the strain on Dowd's face. Killing the Empress, handing over her daughter, those are not easy burdens to bear. And Lurk's betrayal weighs on him heavily. His sleep is troubled by curses and shouts. Now we make preparations to strike back at Delilah. She is planning something in Brigmore, something that affects everyone in the Isles, and she will be expecting us. Like our master, she shares her gifts from the outsider with those who follow her. How many are they, I wonder? I have no secrets from my master. My loyalty is without question, but I fear these may be the last days of the Whalers, perhaps the last days of Dowd. So, if you remember from the last episode, what Delilah is planning is she's planning to try to take over Emily's body. Because she has that magic ability to do that kind of shit.
I found Lizzie's stride. Getting her to lend us her suit will be a bit complicated, however. She's in Coldridge.
Oh boy.
From what I hear, they've been running her the whole for 5,000 years.
Coldridge. We can use this. We'll get her out. And Stride will have to pay back the favor. We'll have our transport.
Ready to leave, sir? Or should I wait?
We're ready to go. Of course, didn't kill anybody. Defeated Corvo in a dream. We found all the coins. We found the corrupted charm. We found both runes. No outsider shrines. Nobody killed. Nothing. Low chaos, of course. Continue. All right, so we're back. We're back to Coldridge Prison from the very beginning of the main game, and we got to break out. We got to break a prisoner out now. This mission is a little difficult. It's not the easiest.
Delilah doesn't leave Brigmore Manor anymore. She doesn't have to. Which means I have to come to her. The manor's upriver, far out past the quarantine line. I'll need a ship. I've lived in Dunwall's underworld a long time. I know the players, gang leaders, madams, corrupt officials. But what I need is a smuggler who knows the river, someone I can trust. It's a reflection of Dunwall, or perhaps myself. That after all these years, the best choice I have is Lizzie Stride. And Lizzie Stride is in jail.
And I'm gonna break Lizzie Stride out of jail. Alright, cool. So, favors. This is where we start here. Misplaced rune. A recent sweep of the prison for contraband has yielded a number of heretical artifacts. One of them will be accidentally be misplaced for the right bribe. Forged requisition. Orders allow your contact to deliver stun mines to the prison. The key is to the munitions locker will be hidden nearby. An overseer down. You are disguised as an overseer. An overseer has been summoned to Coleridge Prison. Your contacts will intercept him and send you in as in his place. Using the overseer's uniform as a disguise should fool the prison guards long enough to get you inside. Yes. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do for now. Okay.
This should get me in the front door at least. Looks like I need to check in with those guards by the gate.
Overseer blade. Overseer mask. So the misplaced rune is down there.
Overseer.
Hello.
About time, Overseer. We sent for you hours ago.
Did you?
There was a problem with the waterlock.
Fine. Listen up. The incident took place in the interrogation room. Cross the yard and keep going straight. Anything else is off limits. Understand?
Capiche.
Don't go exploring. Don't speak to the prisoners. We're not here to listen to you preach. Don't forget you're in Coleridge now, not the Abbey. We asked you here for one reason.
I'll be gone before you know it.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go down here. The misplaced rune. Now, the exit that we're going to be taking when we leave this place is this door over here. This is where we're going to be going once. There's another rune. There's 3 bone charms from what I can see, of course. But yes, we're going to be going up through here. This is our exit when we leave. Pistol, a dead guy. Alright, so here we are.
Guard, open the gate.
Overseer arrival. Remember that an overseer has been summoned to address the situation in the interrogation room. Until the overseer arrives, no one is to enter the interrogation room. The prisoner's cells are off limits to the overseers and other visitors, no exception. Eat that. So we cannot go through here. Our only choice is to go through here.
All cells in Section B are under quarantine until further notice. Prisoners.
Log updates. Remember to take extra care in logging transfers. Even temporary transfers of prisoners from one cell to another must be recorded in the logbook. Ensure that the logbook is available in the guard booth between sections C and D at all times.
Transfers from Section B will be observed for signs of infection.
Grab the rewire tool there.
No one knows what actually happened.
Compact arc amplifier.
Morris lost his nerve in the sewer gates. Neither of them knew anything. They died to satisfy the Lord Regent's office.
This mask won't fool an arc pylon.
Thorpe slipped in the key. Everyone knows that. He got weak. They paid him off, but he couldn't tell us.
Well, good thing there is no whale oil in there right now. Section B closed. Section B will remain closed until the conclusion of the investigation into the escape of Corvo Otano. Prisoners have been moved into the cells on the other side of the prison.
There's no stopping him. And the way he went off that bridge, how do you stop a man who'll make a jump like that? Like he doesn't care.
Or like he's more than human.
Stole that guy's money. You think he's You think he's
I think there's more happening here than.
So there's an alarm there, which we'll just rewire that just in case.
Seen any more big rat swarms? Bug someone else.
So over here we have reinforced bolts. Bolts stuck in enemies break less often. Right? So logbook is over there. This bone charm is over there, past where that other guard was. Does this guy have any money? No.
Does anyone see the problem with this?
Alright, so
Only prisoners.
the Hatters. Keep the Hatters away from the eels. The one in Section D, Cell 11, tried to attack that former dead eel leader again. We can't afford any additional investigators or mistakes right now, so keep them apart.
Personnel beyond this point. No exceptions.
No problem.
Is this another Sokolov invention?
It's because the Lord Protector got out.
So, yes.
So now we've got the tumbler system.
There are vines everywhere.
Just to unlock a cell? Because they paid off a guard?
It makes sense to the Lord Regent's office.
Alright. First things first is a rune. There are ingots, tons of money, transfer orders. Lieutenant Wright. The Hatter we brought in was trying to stash this loot in the canal when we busted him. Looks like he's the one who hit Lord Bremen's carriage a few nights back. So far, he has not named his accomplices, but he will once he gets his turn in the interrogation room. Document everything and then deliver it to the Lord Regent's office. Make sure none of it gets lost along the way, or it's both our heads. Ashfield. Alright, so we have a few things. We have a pouch, we have a bring more chest key. We have a document request. Dear official Officer Ashfield, I would like to most humbly request access to documents concerning the new experimental choke dust, which you may have recently found yourself in possession of. I understand this is a delicate subject matter, and I assure you every precaution will be taken with the documents to ensure they remain confidential. If access to these documents is agreeable to you, please have one of your men deliver them to my cell. Respectfully, your friend in A25. Interrogation log 425. So this is excerpt from interrogation logs at Coleridge Prison, month of Nets. First prisoner, goal, location of collaborator and theft of goods. Method, heated metal bolts applied to feet. Outcome, promising response at first, but the subject lost consciousness due to shock. The second prisoner, goal, confession to vandalism. Method, sleep deprivation. Outcome, disorientation. Subject falsely confessed to crime as well as other unrelated acts. Third prisoner, location of a weapon cache. Goal, location of a weapon cache tied to attacks on river patrol checkpoints. Method, water tank. Outcome, tank mechanism malfunction. Subject drowned. Prisoner 4. Goal, name of conspiracy organizer. Method, engagement with phobia spiders. Outcome, subject divulges information before the hatch into the spider basket was even opened. And then we have an autograph player here with an interrogation log.
Is she strapped in right? Good. Doesn't look like much, does she? Comfortable? All right, we'll get this done. Let's start with how you got into Dunwall Tower in the first place. Was it one of the servants that let you in? One of the guards? Nothing? All right. Corporal, use the hammer. That's right. The smaller one. Can't really tell if she felt that. Don't want to break anything.
Let's try again. How did you... Wait. You hear a kind of ringing in your ears? What's happening to her face? Is she going to... Oh no! Oh no! Shoot her! Shoot her! Shoot!
So that right there, folks, is a Brigmore witch. She's dead, but she took out a lot of people before she died. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and use some choke dust. Okay, well, obviously... Alright, so now we've started some shit. Procedures following the escape of Corvo. Following the escape of Corvo, the council appointed by the Lord Regent has decided it is of the utmost importance to increase security measures at Coleridge. The recommendations made by this report include structural measures such as increasing the heights of walls, ceiling ventilation shafts, and ensuring sewer entrances are inaccessible. Additionally, staffing at the site must be increased to thoroughly cover all exits and maintain observation of all major corridors. Special addendum. In addition to the new measures outlined herein, the Council has consulted both the Abbey of the Everman and Royal Physician Anton Sokolov, asking for guidance and equipment in the handling of those cases which are more exotic in nature. While we have dismissed reports of the supernatural in the past as old wives' tales and lunatic hearsay, recent months have convinced us that there are matters afoot that we do not fully understand. As such, the prison executive personnel are encouraged to welcome the presence of both the overseers and anyone working under Sokolov's technical guidance. Alright, cell control instructions. Set first tumbler to match the cell section letter. Set second and third tumblers to cell number. Pull lever to confirm selection. Ensure that each cell opening request and selection are verbally confirmed. Investigate and report any suspected malfunctions immediately. So this is basically how we're going to be opening up the cells. Log updates. Remember to take extra care in logging transfers. Even temporary transfers of prisoners from one cell to another must be recorded in the logbook. Ensure that the logbook is available in the guard booth between sections. Oh, yeah, we already read that. Duh.
I've got to get back right now. Where are you? I need more back. Die here.
There we go. Everybody's just done. Thank you. Oh, there's a key. See you later. Alright, so another guard post key. Prison cell logbook. So, Winston Fogarty removed, Elizabeth Stride moved to A00, Lucas Penrose moved to D11, Jane Cochran temporarily removed. So we now know Lizzie's location. Over here, we have the ammo key. Oh no! All right, so we can open up other cells. So like C08, C09. We really only want to open cells that have stuff in them. Log warning. Yes, yes.
Lizzie's trying. She's in rough shape.
So A01. So now, basically what we'll do is we'll run back and forth. Alright, so then we'll set it to A01. A00. A00 is also open.
Sound she made. It was like
Go ahead and get that. Processed well oil. There's a Hatter in here. Nothing in there.
Who's that?
Hello, Timsh.
You God? You're not, are you? Listen, I'm a powerful man. All you have to do is trip the mechanism to open this cell, and anything you want will be yours. There's been a terrible mistake, and once it's been corrected, I'll control half the city.
Yeah, I don't think so. A04? Nah, not happening.
Kitchen worker? Groundskeeper? The chance of your miserable lifetime.
Alright, Lizzie.
I'll have to carry her out.
Great. Well, she's just gonna lay there for now. Alright, so we have nothing in there. We have that guy. Nothing and nothing. So now we'll go up to the second floor. And this is D. There's some choke dust in here. Nothing in this one. Nothing in this. Nothing in this.
There are unsecured prisoners active on the premises. All Cold personnel detain or kill anyone currently in a restricted area.
A14. A14, A11. So A14 and A11. Go ahead and get those. Right, so A11. A114. There you go, sir. You're out, but only because I want to take your stuff. Yeah, you can go to sleep now. Trying to give away my position, you asshole. There's a guard up there. Sleep darts. Then we go up one more floor. There's the ammo key. So, A25. I got his ammo thing. A25. This place is already open. Card game going on up in here. Taking all your money. Thank you very much. A2, let's see, A25.
Turn your hands. Blood on the eyes. Anything else, start. I'm not doing.
So D21 and A25. D21 and A25. D21, A25. Alright, so A25. And then D21. D21. There we go. You can open all the cells if you really wanted to. There's really no point. Some of them just have people in them.
Just give me the one chance. I'll never ask anything again.
And here are Corrupted Charm.
This better be worth it.
Statuesque. Oh, we can upgrade pole now. We'll go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Statuesque. While standing still, you cannot be seen by enemies unless they are in combat with you. Mana does not regenerate. Now, Statuesque is actually kind of a nice one if you want to just stand in a crowd of people. Otherwise, I've never really used it. That bread. The Baffle Dust. Get that. Ethical experimentation. I've managed to get my hands on an experimental formula being tested right here in Coldridge. A mixture the prison guards call choke dust, which is normally capable of rendering prisoners vulnerable for a few moments. However, this new formula has the potential to make the victim forgetful as well. It's as if once breathed in, the dust causes an acute temporary stupor. Oh yeah, and we are going to use it. A bunch of books. I'm not going to read.
Prisoners active on the premises. All Coldridge personnel detain or kill anyone currently
Later.
in a restricted area.
Say later to those guys. Alright, so now we'll go back down, we'll open those ammo lockers. Had pistol and stuff like that. Okay. Nothing else. Alright, so we'll go get Lizzie Stride. What are you looking at, douchebag? Pick her dumbass up. So we're going to go back out through the yard. Making sure we didn't miss anything. We got to get that bone charm still. That guy's done for.
I know you're somewhere around.
Lizzie, you can just lay right there.
I know you're here.
See you later.
There are unsecured prisoners active on the premises. All
Alright,
Coldridge
grab
personnel
her.
detain or kill anyone currently in a restricted area.
That guy can go to sleep.
They don't have to kill their own.
From custody. For gross dereliction of duty and the reasonable suspicion of treasonous conspiracy, I hereby sentence you.
Can't stay hidden forever. I'll find you.
And there he goes. He, like, killed a couple of his own dudes. Look at that shit. So the Bone Charm is here. Swift Shadow. Move forward slightly faster while in stealth mode. We do want that. So we're going to get rid of Spiritual Pool, and we're going to do Swift Shadow. Got both the Bone Charms. There's nothing else up here, is there? There's a Health Elixir. Sewers beneath Dunwall. I think that's it. So we're gonna go get Lizzie. Oh, she's over here. That's right. Huh? So... there should be a way out from over here. Ugh! Rats ate those people. But apparently it doesn't want me to get up here. Alright, so the other guy is walking the opposite way. So we can just go down here. There we go. There we go.
She's beaten but not dead. See that her wounds get attention.
It will be done. Ready to go, sir.
I am indeed.
Let's go.
Let's go! Alright. Nobody killed. One alarm rung. Bunch of bodies found. Chaos is still low. Didn't kill anybody. Learn about the Brigmore Witch's interrogation. Stop the execution of the guard who helped Corvo. Runes found both. Bone Charms found both. Corrupted Charms found the one. We found 1105 out of 1655 in the coins. No outsider shrines. We did well. So Draper's Ward is the second mission. This is a bigger map than the Coldridge Prison. This is probably the big. This is where the big part comes in. This is kind of where all the stuff is located.
6 months ago, Draper's Ward was where Dunwall's rich and well-born strolled and shopped and tried to be seen. The plague burned through it in days. Today, it's a battleground where two street gangs fight over the spoils. The Hatters and Lizzie's gang, the Dead Eels. Lizzie Stride was the boss until Edgar Wakefield betrayed her and took her place. And the riverboat. It's the kind of thing that happens every day in Dunwall. I don't judge him. I've done worse myself. But I need that boat. Edgar Wakefield and I have business.
Alright, so Baffle Dust. So let's go ahead and check out the favors. Sunken Crate. Allied whalers will dump a crate loaded with supplies We'll have to dive to retrieve the contents. We'll go ahead and get that. And the hidden rune, of course. Tunnel Dweller has been bribed to bring a rune from the depths of the Dunwall Storm Drain and place it within reach of the surface. Alright, so now we've done that, let's do some upgrades. First things first, let's get Baffle Dust. Bone Charm capacity 4, we're going to go ahead and roll with that as well. All the rest, Stun Mines we could use, but I would rather buy a few Sleep Darts. We're only going to get 3 right now. Can't afford any Choke Dust. We're kind of running out of money. We're going to proceed to the mission, though.
The textile mill used to run off a water wheel before the canal went dry. It started up again recently, and whatever the Hatters did to get it working has enraged the dead eels. They're fighting in the streets.
Alright, so... Uh-oh. There's already a fight going on. But we're going to see it next time. Thank you all for joining me. Next time we go through Draper's Ward and get the ship back for Lizzie Stride. So I'll talk to you guys on the next part. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.